Good afternoon, CMS families. I hope that everyone's day is off to a wonderful start. Thank you so much for joining today's Family Academy session, Digital Resources to Keep Your Child Learning at Home. Please take a moment to sign in to today's session at bit.ly/Family Academy sign in. We will have translation supports on this call today. If you are in need of translation supports, please click in the right-hand corner of your screen, Captions. From the drop-down, you'll be able to select Show Live Captions, and from there, you'll be able to select a language of your choosing from the drop-down. Once again, if you need translation support, the top right-hand corner for Captions, Show Live Captions, and then please select from the drop-down the language of your choosing. And we are excited to engage with you today. We do have a Q&A feature. If you have any questions, please add them into the Q&A. You would select Q&A and ask a question. It does appear that this feature may be having a little glitch at the moment. So if there are any additional questions, we will have our attendance form at the end to submit any questions and ensure you receive follow-up. Additionally, we are excited to engage with you on today's call. Please feel free to share a reaction, emoji for any wows or aha moments so that we ensure that today's session is meeting your needs as a family and learner within our CMS community. And at this time, I'm excited to turn it over to our digital media and resource team to share more about the digital resources to keep your child learning at home.
Good afternoon, everybody. So excited to be here. I am Kim Ray, the Director of Digital Learning and Library Services for CMS. My colleague, the amazing Trish Cloud, our Digital Innovation Coordinator, is here as well, and we'll be doing the bulk of our presentation today. And we're excited to engage with you, and thank you for all you do every day and for entrusting your students to us for their education. Okay, moving through the slide deck. Trish, can you move us forward? Okay, I'll go ahead and move us. So this is our team, and we're here to support you with all things library and digital learning. So we're going to go ahead and take a moment to look at our goals as a district. And you may have seen this layout, but go ahead and take a moment. Our district goals are right here in the center, and the guardrails, the things that our superintendent is responsible for ensuring, are right here. Along with our mission, our vision, our core beliefs, and these pillars of excellence at the bottom are how we are doing that. But I really want to focus on these goals right here because these are our wildly important goals based on the needs of our students currently. So just take a moment to look at those. Okay, so in light of improving literacy for grades K-8, strengthening math performance in Math 1, and ensuring that every student in CMS graduates and is ready for college careers, employed, enlisted, or enrolled somewhere, we're going to think about this question. In light of those district goals, what do you need as a parent guardian to support your child or children with learning at home? And what challenges do you face in finding resources to support your child? If you can post in the Q&A, just take a moment to respond to that. And Molly, I don't know if you could possibly unmute and share a couple of those.
And families, we are having trouble with our Q&A at this time. I do apologize. So we will share the sign-in form at the end of today's session, and we're happy to capture all of the feedback received and make sure it is returned to the team. So families, if you would like to remember this as your thing to share on that attendance form, we'll make sure that it is available to you.
Thank you so much, Molly. I wasn't sure if it had kind of resolved itself at this point or not, so I appreciate that update. And this feedback will help us. It's very important to us because we have some other opportunities to share resources with you throughout the year, and we want to make sure that we're helping to meet the needs that you have. All right, so moving right along, our goals today are to actually ensure that you are all aware of our district ebook platform, Sora, which is an amazing resource, and some of the features in there that are really helpful for parents in making sure that you have access to your child's data to see what they are reading on or not reading in Sora and what their reading habits are, and you can kind of engage with them as readers. We're also going to learn how to become an observer in your students' Canvas accounts here in the district, which will allow you to engage with all of the content that they're learning, and about accessing the education Minecraft platform at home. You're going to learn from the guru today, Trish Cloud, about that. All right, so resource number one that we're going to look at today. You may or may not know that your child has access to thousands of high quality resources on our district ebook shelf. Some of them are aligned with our curriculum, and some of them are there just for them to grow in the love and joy of reading. I had a child, a CMS student, my own child, who loved reading, and I had one who deplored reading and really challenged me. So your child or children may fall anywhere on that spectrum, but when we select books for that bookshelf, our district ebook shelf, we keep reluctant readers as well as excited readers in mind, putting things on there. So what is Sora? Sora is an award-winning ebook platform, and it is the source of all ebooks that our students access here. On occasion, a school may purchase an external ebook platform, but those are usually very small collections. This is the big, large collection, kind of the library of ebooks for our district. Students get to access Sora on the Launchpad, and there's different things they can do. It's not just ebooks, there's IO books as well. They can adjust reading or listening settings. They can read or listen offline. For our littles, there are collections that are read aloud so that they can develop that fluency and that literacy. There are lots of different features that allow them to annotate and do some really cool things. And for motivation, there's reading stats and achievements. And that's the piece I like parents to know so that you can engage with your child in conversations about who they are as a reader. So our librarians really focus on that. We're trying to really develop student awareness of themselves as readers so they can explore their preferences, they can explore other things, but really just to stop and intentionally decide who they are as readers. And that's a great way you can support them at home. So some things about Sora. These are kind of what those features all look like. Students can sign in two different ways. They can go in on any web browser at soraapp.com, or they can go in on the Launchpad. Now, if your student's been here in CMS for a while, it's highly likely that they are on Sora quite a bit at school. So this won't be news to them, but sometimes it is for parents. So it's really good for families to know about Sora. They can either go in again through the Launchpad. The first time they go in, they do have to find their own school district. And most kids, again, have done this, but if your child has not been utilizing Sora at school for some reason, then, and there may be other resources, but if you want them engaging with Sora at home, you might need to help them set that up if they are going in on the external soraapp.com website. So we've got instructions for that. It's all here. And if you need help, you will have the bit.ly to this slide deck so that you can reference it later. They log in with their school credentials, their student ID, and their password, which is the same thing they utilize to log into the Launchpad and everything else here at school. Once they get in, we have curated collections on that first landing page. Lots of great things. You'll see read-alongs for the littles, all kinds of really fun, interesting things. We change the collections frequently, but you will also see on that front landing page, if your child is in K through 8th grade, you will see the L curriculum, which is their English language arts. You'll see the collections. So for example, our kindergartners are learning about toys and play. That's the module topic. So there are lots of books in there to really help build their background knowledge. They can go home and read those books and come to school with lots of background knowledge, which will help them grow as readers and writers. So there's academic resources on that landing page as well. They can go on the Explore tab down here at the bottom to find and browse those collections. They can borrow, they can put a hold on a book if it's not available. The other thing they can do is they can actually, and this is really fun even for younger kids. So they don't often know this, but if they're accessing on a Chromebook or on a desktop, even on an iPad, it's really neat for kids to know that they can annotate and it will save their annotation. So for example, if it's a nonfiction fact that they think is really exciting and cool and they want to take that fact to school and share it, all they need to do is just double click on that text and it will allow them to highlight, and they can put a little note in there and it will save for them. And those notes don't go away. They are able to be exported to a document. So the older kids, we have them do research that way and export lots of those facts into a note-taking document. Lots of great things, but even in fiction, as a reader, they can go through, and I always challenge my kids to find words and phrases that they like to build their vocabulary or something that just resonated with them to get them to interact with the book and stay focused. So that's a really cool feature. There's audiobooks. So sometimes when they're laying in bed at night, they can listen to an audiobook. That's a really great way, or in the car, to get them off of screens for a little while and really listen and grow and focus. That's a really great way to do that. Just a little side note, I was just reading some research too, and comprehension for the recent studies, and it's a wide body of research, shows that comprehension improves just as much from utilizing strictly audiobooks as it does for print books. Now, again, littles need to have print books to develop that decoding, that, sounding out words. But if you worry about your kids, they're not looking at the text enough, if they're just listening to audiobooks while they're doing other things, actually comprehension grows at a similar rate listening to audiobooks. There's really no discernible difference. So if your child prefers audiobooks, let them listen. It's a great way to build background knowledge, and lots of great ones on Sora. And they have on the other section, this shelf right here, you could actually log in with their information and see what their history. The books are permanently there. What they've read and accessed is there for you. You could see any holds, anything they're waiting on. They can create wish lists and reading lists there. It's very easy, very intuitive, lots of fun. Notifications that a hold is in. So that's a really great place to go. These two tabs right here are great for parents, the shelf and the me tab. So the me tab is where the magic is, I think, for parents. And as a parent, I love being able to go in and see what, how much time is my kid on Sora this week? So they said they were reading for the past hour. Have they? Then this is a great space to sit with your child and say, oh my goodness, congratulations. You've read 14 days in a row on Sora. You can see their streak. You're averaging 7 minutes. Let's see if we can get that up to 20 or up to 15 today. This is a fantastic tool for parents to have. The other thing they can see is the badges. So this student right here has earned 19 out of 30 available achievements. There are different achievements like for reading a nonfiction book or from this collection. So this is really a fun place to sit with your kid and say, have them set a goal. And you can see the badges. We talked about that piece as well. Another piece that's brand new to Sora, sorry, I'm going backwards on this Me page, is their reading challenges. So this isn't really a parent feature. It's more something teachers and kids can use, but kids can actually set up a reading challenge. It's super easy on this Me page. They can actually set up a reading challenge and get a code, and they could share that code with their friends and challenge their friends to read with them, or challenge their siblings to read with them if they're also CMS students. So that's a really fun kind of brings the collaborative piece into it for kids, especially our older kids. So next steps, just make sure that you talk with your child about Sora, log in with them, just kind of look at what they've been doing. And this slide deck is here for you to help you with anything. And if you ever have any issues in Sora, you can let us know. I will say too, this is a really good thing to know. Sora is also, we are going to be implementing a feature that they're rolling out this month where parents can go in and determine if there's a book in there that you don't want your child to read. You will be able, as a parent, to use the parent portal that's already on your school's website, and you can log in and restrict access to that title for your own kids. So we really work hard to make sure that the books that are there are age appropriate. But if there's something that you're not comfortable with, that feature's coming out this month, and we'll be sharing that out in our communication channels. And I'm going to turn this over to Trish. So anything you want to know about Sora, just put it in the attendance form today, and we'll make sure we follow up with you. All right, Trish.
Thank you, Kim. Welcome. And I'm going to go over a couple of resources with you. I'm the Digital Innovation Coordinator, and I'm all about helping students and teachers learn to use technology in their learning as a tool that can assist and aid and add some engagement and add some fun. But this first one is to help parents out. Did you know that you can be an observer in your student's Canvas account? What this does is gives you the ability to be in your student's account and see their work, see what their assignments are, see what the teacher is saying, and see their grades. It's a great tool for parents, particularly as your students get older in middle and high school, because knowing exactly what is expected of your student, and especially if they're sick or out, knowing that their assignments are there and you can see them if you want to, is a great thing. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to download the Canvas Parent app. It's blue. Um, if you see Canvas apps on the App Store or the Google Play Store and you see gold or red, those are not the ones you want. You want the blue one. A lot of you, particularly our young students, your teacher will have provided a QR code. If they haven't provided a QR code, that's okay. But if they've provided a QR code, you will need that QR code. The first screen you're going to see is the Canvas Parent, and it's going to give you the choices of finding your school or doing it or logging in with a QR code. If you're going to do it by finding your school, you are not going to type in the name of your child's school. You're going to type in Charlotte-Mecklenburg Schools. Then you will select the Canvas Observer account sign up. Now, there are two places here. If you have never observed before, you're going to have to sign up. But if you have observed before, you don't need to do anything at all. because you're already in there. One of the great things about this is once you sign on as an observer for your student's account, that stays with them as long as the student is in the district and as long as they're still enrolled in Canvas. You follow your student as they go through grades. However, if you have a new student, say a younger brother or sister is joining in, you can just simply go to your Canvas parent account and add that student. So you can sign into your Canvas account if you haven't signed in a while, or you can create a new account. And oh, I didn't type something there and we have a strange thing on the board. Okay, if you, once again, you're going to sign in to their account and you will just fill out the information like you normally would. It's just going to ask you for your name and for some information. If you need the pairing code, if you're logging in for the first time and you didn't have a QR code, you're going to need the pairing code. To find the pairing code, use your student's device and get them to log in to their Canvas account. You are going to go to their account and you can see their account up here in the upper left-hand corner of their screen. You'll see an image of them. If you click on that, it's going to open their drop-down menu and you will see settings. Click on settings. Then you will see on the right-hand side of your screen, you will see a box that says pair with an observer. And you will click there. And there you will find the pairing code for your student. If by chance you are not seeing a pairing code, you will need to contact your teacher, your student's teacher, and ask them to issue the code so that the student can pair with you. Sometimes that code is held off until the teacher sends out the pairing code for her students. So if you get this far and you don't see a pairing code there, contact the teacher and she will either A, send you a QR code to use instead of a pairing code, or she will send you a pairing code. Either way will work. Once you've done that, you are in your student's Canvas and you'll be able to see what's going on in all their classes. It's a great tool to have and keep in mind. As I said, you can continue to use this as your students age through CMS, and each year you will just follow your students to their next class. And this was just what I just said. Remember, you only need to do this one time per student, and it carries over year after year. It's great because as we're all getting ready to start the new school year, one less thing to do on the checkoff list is a great thing. Now, let's talk about Minecraft EDU. Minecraft EDU is part of our Office 365 that we have for every parent, every student, and teacher in the district. And what this does is it gives your students access to Minecraft, and it's the education version, which is different, which I'm going to show you some of the ways that it's different in just a moment. Um, the the um, the first thing I need to tell you is I would not try to do this on your student's Chromebook. There is a reason for that. We are very explicit and particular about what schools have Minecraft turned on in them, and we have requirements where a teacher, at least one teacher, has been trained in Minecraft and that the principal has approved it for use during school hours, and that it is only used as an educational tool during that time. That means that students are not using it for recess. It's not used as a reward system. It's used in lessons to enhance the curricular content that is being used in the class. And because of this, we don't make Minecraft EDU available on our Launchpad because of the fact that it's not approved across the district. It's only approved in certain schools. But every student in the district still has access to Minecraft EDU and can use it at home on their own time. So what I would suggest is if you have a personal device, a Windows, a Mac, desktop or laptop, iPhone, iPad, you can download Minecraft EDU onto those devices, and then your student will log in with their CMS credentials and then be able to utilize Minecraft at home. So to do that, I've put a link here within the slide deck that will take you to Minecraft, education.minecraft.net. Minecraft EDU is not the same as the commercial version of Minecraft that you purchase from the App Store or you get online. This edition of Minecraft is structured for education in the world of Minecraft. So it has much more than the regular game has. If you click on any of these, they will take you to how you can download onto your Mac or onto your PC. You can find Minecraft EDU in the Google Play Store, the App Store, and it will download onto iPads or iPhones or Android devices. Students will log into Minecraft EDU with their CMS credentials. Now, their CMS credential as far as their username never changes. It is their student ID number. The default password that CMS gives them at the beginning of the year is P, uppercase P, lowercase w, their 4-year birth year, their 2-digit birth month, and their 2-digit birth date, followed by uppercase CMS. I know that many students, particularly our older students, they may have changed their default password. If that's the case, they will use that password. But this is how they will log in to Minecraft EDU. And from there, they should have no issues. When they get into the world, in fact, I'm going to show you the world right now. Excuse me. All right. This is Minecraft EDU. And when your student first logs in, it looks like this. They can change their avatar and what it looks like by clicking on the coat hanger, and you can see all the different outfits they can log into. And these are called skins for moms and dads if you haven't played before. Next, you'll just click play. Any worlds that they have that they've already built, if they built them after we started cloud saving all of our worlds, you will see, if you notice, there's a little cloud here. Anything a student builds, no matter where they are or what device they're on, when they save it, it saves to their OneDrive. So when they log off, if they're on a phone and then they go to somewhere else and they log in on an iPad, the world will be there because it will load from their OneDrive. So they don't lose their worlds, which was something that used to happen all the time. So all their worlds are here for them. The thing that I want to show you is the library. If they're a younger student and they haven't played a lot and they're really interested in learning how to play, or even moms and dads, if you want to learn how to play, you can click here and you can see tutorials on how to do things, like how to do the chemistry tutorial or the code builder tutorial, which teaches you how to work with the agent who's very cute. And even just simply learning how to build a simple house. Anything else you might want to learn? Here are some starter worlds where they've already built things that they can then play in and build onto and create further from, that will give them just a little bit more structure to their play. These are build challenges that they can try to do that gives them what they need to build and the parameters they need to do it. If you have students interested in learning about computer science, we have the Hour of Code. If they're a younger student, I would say second or third grade, all the way up through middle school, they might want to start with block coding, which gets them started. And we have upper primary, secondary, and even some simple block coding for our lower primary grades, and all the way up to coding in Python. And there's all artificial intelligence, game code, about learning how to build code for games, and all computer science. From there, you can see we have lessons on all the subjects. And if you go into a lesson, you can look toward if it is age appropriate for your student, because some lessons are more for secondary or high school, whereas some are geared towards elementary. Just take the time, if you're working with your student, make sure that they're staying within their grade parameters. Once you've decided if they want to build a new world, you create it here. And once they decide what they want to do and how they're going to play, they just start playing. Let's close this down. Okay, let me get here. So this is all the information that you need right here. And here, once again, is the library. And that's it. If you have any questions for me regarding Minecraft or anything like that, feel free to ask a question. And this slide presentation will be ready and available on from this bit.ly at CMS Family Dig Resources. And I'm going to turn it back over to Molly to see if we have any questions. I wanted to leave us time to do that. And I tend to do things fast. So feel free to ask questions if you need help with something.
Thank you so much to Miss Trish Cloud and Miss Kim Ray for such fabulous information. We do have our Q&A up and running, so we have feedback and questions from our families. A few just big bucket answers for our families that I will go ahead and share. Today's slide deck is available at the bit.ly that is on the screen, and today's presentation is also going to be available on our Family Academy on demand. Within the Q&A, you will see a pinned question that has all of these details and links for you at the top. A few questions that we're seeing in our Q&A that I would like to go ahead and share. If we could explain the difference between Infinite Campus and Canvas and how Canvas supports our families, and just a quick brief overview one more time of our Canvas platform.
Trish, you want to take this one?
Sure. Infinite Campus is, and we have so many can things going on in the district right now. Infinite Campus is our SIS system, which is just Student Information System. This is what took the place of Power School. Canvas is an LMS, which is a learning management system. We use Canvas within Infinite Campus to give students, that's how we send out blueprints of curriculum from all of our courses, all of our English, math, science, social studies, health and PE, CTE, and JROTC, art, world language. Everything is in a Canvas course that teachers can use in a blended learning setting, to where students have access to everything they're doing on their device, even if the teacher is strictly teaching with pen and paper in the front of the classroom. There's a digital backup on the student device. So if the student is absent, they have access to their resources. If the teacher has a sub that day, the student still has access to everything in the learning management system. And the district uses Canvas and Mastery Connect to check and see how students are mastering their standards and the goals that they have set for them in each class. Did that answer the question?
Yes, thank you so much.
Okay.
Another The next question that we have from a few different families, if we could review the login process for Sora one more time, please.
Kim, do you want me to
Absolutely.
back up?
Sure, that would be great.
Okay,
So
hold on.
yeah, there are two ways that kids can get into Sora. And at school, they go in through their Launchpad. They can also go in through the Launchpad at home. But if they're at home and they don't know how to pull the Launchpad up, or they're on your phone, they can pull it up at soraapp.com. And since most of them have already been logged in at school, it's just going to go right to their shelf, right to their page. I will say a couple of other things that might be helpful to you is, once a student's logged into Sora in their account, they don't get logged out every single time. Like, it keeps them logged in. That's really helpful for parents. So if your child logs into Sora at home on, say, a desktop or on your phone, then it will keep them logged in for a really long time. So you could go in and out of their account without having to continually log back in. So that'll help you keep up on what they're doing in Sora quite a bit. But you have this slide and slide deck to help you at home. The other thing I probably didn't mention that is important for families Number one is there's a setting in Sora up at the top right where you can select the language that you want to view the books. Like everything will convert over to whatever language you select. The second thing that's really helpful for parents to know is that kids don't have access to every book in the ebook shelf. The books they have access to are the ones that are appropriate for them. So based on the publisher designation. So for example, a kindergartner wouldn't have access to the high school collection, right? Because they shouldn't. They should have access to the elementary collection. So that's important to know too, that we have those settings set up with Sora to filter out books for appropriate age levels. So hopefully that answered your question about how to log in, and here's the slide for you.
Thank you so much, Kim. And a slight continuation. We hear that they've been filtered out based on grade level. Is there a way to find a recommended reading list or reading shelf that families should be aware of for their child?
Is a phenomenal question. So each school, in addition to the kids have access to the district ebook shelf, which is where the bulk of the books are, but each school also has its own shelf. And on occasion, we've been able to give money to schools, or they may have money and purchase specific books for programs they have that may not be district wide, or maybe they're doing a one book, one school read of Wonder, so they get the book for everybody just at their school. Those will pop up on the Explore page. That Explore page has curated collections. You can see on the screen what one of them looks like. And those are all filtered for age and grade level and age. So that would be a good place to look for recommended reads or good reads. I can curate some of those. So I've put the L curriculum as a good one, for example. You could go down to the grade level that your student's doing. The L curriculums are really good ones because the L curriculum is their English language arts. And so, for example, if third grade is doing their unit on frogs, it's great for them to read additional things, whether it's fiction or nonfiction. We put them all in a collection for them to do some additional reading, because reading success, background knowledge is a big determinant of reading success with comprehension. So the more they read on topics that they're studying at school, the more background knowledge they're bringing to those assignments, and the better they're going to do as readers and writers. So long answer, check out that Explore page. We change the collections every month, and there's lots of good recommended reads there. You can also ask your child's teacher as well.
Thank you so much. Our next question is most appropriate for Miss Trish. For Minecraft education, can you please review how to log in? Specifically, what email should families be using if they're not aware of their student's email address?
In that case, the only way that a student is going, or you will be able to access Minecraft EDU, is with your student's verification. So if they ask for an email, it would be your student's ID number at cms.k12.nc.us. That would be their username. Their password is their CMS password. The reason being is that Minecraft EDU for just anybody is not free. It costs. But because of the contract we have with Microsoft, who owns Minecraft, we get it as part of our suite of Microsoft products. So if when you're logging in to Minecraft EDU, if they are asking for an email, it would still be your student's ID number followed by at cms.k12.nc.us, and the password is whatever password that they're using or the default that is here in the slides.
Thank you so much. And if you could re-highlight the educational benefits of Minecraft EDU for our
Sure.
families.
Sure. One of the best things about Minecraft EDU is the fact that, and this is not to sound technical, but we are in what's called a tenant, and it is tied to at cms.k12.nc.us. That means that anyone logged into Minecraft can only be logged into Minecraft if they have at cms.k12.nc.us as part of their email. It's like having a huge fence around all our students. When they're in Minecraft EDU, they cannot, right now, there are certain situations where they can join worlds, but they can only join worlds with someone who is in CMS. And I'm not sure how well that would work outside of the CMS internet or our wireless system. Um, for them playing at home, I would suggest it's probably they will not be able to join worlds with someone they don't know. No one
Mhm.
can jump into their world, so it's a very safe environment. That is, to me, one of the biggest benefits. The other is utilizing the libraries because of the fact that there are so many things in there that instead of just doing random things, there are tasks that they can work on where they're learning things. However, Minecraft is a world to where it requires a lot of cognitive work to play in Minecraft. It's a very imaginative play. These kids know how to build things like nobody's business, and they're generally having to plan, especially if they're playing in survival mode. You can set up how they play in the settings. If you don't want them getting in survival mode because it makes them too tense or they get too upset if the creepers get them or something like that, you can make sure they're always in creative mode. Even if they're in creative mode, they have to plan what they're building. Then they have to make sure they have the right resources. Then they have to have a plan of how they plan to build it. This is not a random game. It's very much a game of planning and then building. If you could see some of the things that people have built in Minecraft, you would be amazed. And one of the most interesting tools within Minecraft is something called redstone, which works as like electrical currents, and they can run roller coasters off redstone to where inside the game the roller coaster is moving, and they can learn about using redstone by checking out the library. There are many things that they can do in there that will expand their creativity and give them ideas for thinking outside the box, which is always good to do. But as a parent, you set your limits on how long they're in there and how often they're in there.
Thank you so much. Um, our next question, within Minecraft education, as a parent, are you able to see the activities that they've done while they're in the school or when they're working independently from that parent monitoring lens?
Um, if you want to see what they're doing, I would just ask your student to bring up their worlds, and you can see every world that they've built. and you can have them click and go into that world and view what they've done. As far as watching, like while they're doing it, that's not a tool that's available. However, you do have access to all their worlds just by having them bring up their worlds and show you what they're doing.
Thank you. Families, we've had some great questions. Just one more time, the username for Minecraft is their student ID plus.
At cms.k12.nc.us. And what I will do is I will go to that slide right here and I will add that
Thank you. So that will
to,
be visible within the Bitly presentation, family. So as you
yes,
go back, you'll be able to see that full information.
yep.
We did have a question asking, at what age should students be engaging within that Canvas and Sora platform? Should families as early as kindergarten be prepared to access these applications?
That's a really good question. I'm going to have Trish address Minecraft, but I can address Sora for sure. So we do have some kindergarten students who learn to log in, and they are using, we try to set up the Explore page so that everything that a kindergartner might need is at the top. So those read-along books, and you can thank your librarian at your school for this because they've advocated for this if you're at an elementary school, but the librarians teach the kids when they go to library how to do this, and all of those read-alongs, read-alouds, where they can see the text and hear it as well, are at the top. So the answer is kind of yes and no. If your student's ready for it and able to learn how to get in there, it's not. It's pretty intuitive. And again, once they get in, they stay logged in for a long time. So yes, a lot of our kindergartners are utilizing that resource in their schools for sure. Trish?
Um, you will not find very many students accessing Canvas in kindergarten. Simply because a lot of them don't know how to navigate devices yet. And part of what they're doing in kindergarten is learning how to do simple tasks in their with their iPads. You may not even see them accessing it all in first grade. Generally speaking, I believe teachers begin introducing students to Canvas lightly in second grade, but by third grade, they are in Canvas more because now they're on Chromebooks. And I know that a lot of their testing is done via their Chromebooks. So their digital skills have been building since kindergarten, gradually progressing in difficulty and ability over the years of K1 and 2. Um, I don't believe that we have a lot of demand for students being in Canvas. I don't think our curriculum is exactly set up that way. However, I know that all of their L work, their ELA work for kindergarten, first grade, and second grade are all in Canvas courses, so that if you wanted just to be able to see what their curriculum is looking like, you could still create an observer account even though your student is not doing any work within Canvas. You would be able to see what their assignments are and what everything looks like within the L curriculum that they're using. However, you would be able to see beginning in third grade that they're engaging more in Canvas and they might have more assignments that they're doing within Canvas. You would still be able to see their math curriculum, their L curriculum, their science, and their social studies.
Thank you so much. Families, we have had the majority of our questions answered on today's call, and we have captured all feedback for additional resource requests and information so that we can continue to support you in this work moving forward. A special thank you to our digital resources and digital media services team for providing such a comprehensive overview of our Canvas platform, our Sora platform, and Minecraft education platform for families to continue to use. If you continue to have any questions or wonderings, please feel free to submit using the Family Academy sign-in sheet, and we will ensure that your questions are addressed and answered. Please sign in for future sessions as we will continue to overview additional resources throughout this school year. Thank you for your time, families. We hope that you have a wonderful day.